Hello everyone in YouTube, this is Faruway, your manga reviewer from the best small island of Singapore. Going to give his review of One Piece manga chapter 800 titled Followers Exchanging Cups. Now in this chapter of One Piece, this chapter 800 of One Piece will be remembered as a marking milestone for the Straw Hat Pirates because Luffy and his crew have finally gotten their very own Grand Fleet of 5,600 allies named the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Yep, it's official, Luffy have finally gotten his very own Grand Fleet. Although you've been wondering whether Luffy accept their offer or not, the answer is no. Luffy refusing the offer is not quite surprising because that's how Luffy is. And the funny thing about him is that the reason is why he refused the offer was because it's cramped. You see Luffy with a dissatisfied expression on his face, simply like this. And I can simply understand what he meant because it can be tough and quite a hindrance for him to lead a total of 5,600 allies sailing together with him in his own adventure alongside his crew. And it can be like very difficult for him to handle that. Luffy is not the kind of person who would do this kind of thing, and that's when we find out that he's not trying to become a great person. He's not trying to become like an important figure who would take control of anyone's freedom, because he just wants to become the king of pirates and let anyone do whatever they want. He wanted them to be free. Of course, he won't forget the fact that these 7 captains and the rest of the Colosseum fighters fought alongside him to defeat the Don Quixote pirates and save the kingdom of Dressrosa from peril, and that he will call them out as loud as he can. The 7 captains and their crew understand what Luffy is trying to say and they respect his decision. However, they decide to force themselves into joining him anyway. You see this one awesome panel where all the 7 captains of the Grand Fleet, they're sitting on the floor and they raise their Sakazuki cups together in front of Luffy. Bartolomeo gives out this epic speech, a pledge, and this is what he has to say. I might as well do an impression of Bartolomeo, by the way. We pledge to become your subordinates, your shield and sword. When the time comes, we protect you as repayment for what you have given to us. The 7 of us here will exchange our Sakazuki cups with all we have, and we will do it even if you refuse. I really had to do it, man. All the 7 captains drink the sake from their cups, and it's official, they have become a part of Luffy's crew and form the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Much to Luffy's dismay, and he was shocked. And while all of this is going on, there's a group of pirates on the seas that is they were in league with Doflamingo, being business partners with Doflamingo, and they were pissed off. They were angry for what Luffy and his crew have done to Doflamingo by defeating him, and they wanted his head. We found out from them that Luffy's bounty is worth 500 million berry. That's right, 500 million berry. That's the actual translation, by the way, because the first translation that I read was Manga Panda. They screw up the translation saying that it's 5 million. I mean, what the hell, Manga Panda? Anyway, those pirates are about to attack the Yonta Maria Grand Fleet ship where Luffy and the crew were aboard. But fortunately, they were saved by Fujitora, who apparently dropped the rubbles and the debris that were floating above Dressrosa, and they landed onto the enemy's ship. Their ships are taken down by the raining rubbles thanks to Fujitora, as he did this as a farewell gift to Luffy. And I'm so happy that Fujitora did this because he's a very kind-hearted admiral who sees Luffy as a hero, not a criminal. With Fujitora making a silly face fault, which is quite random because Fujitora is a serious person. Although like a few chapters back then, we saw him actually laugh and making a silly laughing face. I doubt that Sengoku report this to Akainu because simply Sengoku and Fujitora, they were good friends, and if Akainu witnessed Fujitora's actions with his own eyes, then there will be like a tension and a fight between the two of them. A drift between the good and the bad marines that might happen in the future. Then the ending of this chapter, it ended with a celebration feast of Luffy and his crew along with his newly formed Grand Fleet. The main dish is fighting fish. It's kind of sad that Sanji is not here, so he will be able to cook the delicious dishes gathered from this ingredient. And everybody toast. We saw Baby Five, we saw Don Jinjiao, we saw Bartolomeo crying like a baby as hard as he can with tears flowing from his eyes. His dream to become a Straw Hat crew member, or at least an ally, has finally fulfilled. And speaking of Bartolomeo, I think we saw his crew near the end of this chapter. They were the group of people, those that resembles like street gang hooligans, and they were the ones who shouted, "Take care of us, boss," to Luffy. I mean, who else would call Luffy boss? That is simply the Battle Club, Bartolomeo's crew member. And then comes the most interesting part, the ending of this chapter, which is the closing line. And it is very important because what it says in this closing line was that the author's example of an exchange of Sakazukis, nobody could tell if it was planned or pure coincidence. But the 7 oddballs that calls themselves Luffy's subordinates will continue to grow on their own and make mark on their history as well. All this will lead to a very big incident, but for now it's an untold story. So this line that Oda tells us is a foreshadowing of something that will happen in the future, caused by Luffy's Straw Hat Grand Fleet. It could be something like a big incident like the war against Kaido or the final war. But I don't know what this big incident Oda is trying to foreshadow, so yeah. It would be interesting if Oda did a cover story of the 7 captains of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet on what they are doing, and and it will lead to the big incident that will happen in the future. It would be great, like what Oda did for the Straw Hat Pirates after they got separated, and we see what they're doing before the time skip. And that's my review of One Piece chapter 800 titled Followers Exchanging Cups. If I were to say about give a rate about this chapter, it would be 8 out of 10. It's not the hypest chapter or an awesome chapter, but at least we get confirmation that Luffy finally gets his own Straw Hat Grand Fleet. These 7 captains and their crew now under Luffy and his crew flagship, they can do whatever they want. They can go to different islands and claim it as Luffy's territory, especially those islands, for example, Fishman Island and Dressrosa. They really need protection right now because of the other pirates that might come to evade and cause trouble. In times like this, Luffy will send either one of them and to protect the island. And if Luffy needs help, he can call them out and assist him whenever he and his crew is in deep trouble. Kind of like the Whitebeard pirates, because their crew, the Whitebeard and his crew, they sailed on their own adventure. And when during that time when Ace was being executed during the Marineford arc, Whitebeard and his crew came to rescue him with the aid of his Grand Fleet, which is consists of pirates from the New World. So I can see this happening for Luffy and his Straw Hat Grand Fleet. So this chapter marks the end of the Dressrosa arc. I'm glad that it's finally finished. 100 chapters is currently the longest arc in the entire story of One Piece. And we are now moving on to Zoro's arc, so I don't know what to expect in this upcoming arc. I do wonder how Sanji and his group will react to Luffy getting his Grand Fleet now. It will be hilarious, so yeah, really can't wait to see that happening. So yeah, that's my review of One Piece chapter 800, titled Followers Exchanging Cups. So what are your thoughts about this chapter? Are you glad that Luffy finally get his very own Grand Fleet, which is the Straw Hat Grand Fleet? And what do you think about the big incident that Oda's foreshadow in the closing line of this chapter? What do you think it will be? And will Oda did a cover story for the Straw Hat Grand Fleet in the upcoming chapters? And we'll see what they are doing until it led to the big incident that will happen in the near future. Let me know in the comments down below. So if you like this video, give it a like, comment and subscribe. And until the next One Piece manga chapter review, this is Faruway signing off. Keep in touch and have a good day.